What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And I have some bad news for you guys because many various newspapers are reporting that Chelsea are very close to signing Timo Werner. So how on earth did this happen? Well, you will get all the details that you need in this video, and there is still an outside chance of Liverpool getting Timo Werner because there are some journalists who are saying that if Liverpool match the release clause of Timo Werner, we can still get him even though Chelsea agreed personal terms with Timo Werner. Liverpool are still his favorite club to sign for. So Liverpool are very inactive at the moment, and Jurgen Klopp, even though the reports were true that Jurgen Klopp personally spoke to Timo Werner, it's quite weird not to see Liverpool back that up with approaching Leipzig. It looks like that Liverpool wanted Leipzig to... It looks like that Liverpool wanted the release clause to expire and then they wanted to negotiate with Leipzig one-on-one and get the price down. But Chelsea and Roman Abramovich, it looks like, still have big funds to spend in the transfer market, because not only are they signing Hakim Ziyech for around like 40 million pounds, but they are now signing Timo Werner, and they also want to sign Leicester City left back Ben Chilwell. And yes, Chelsea were on a transfer ban, so that's why they have more funds than usual. But also Liverpool haven't spent big money on a transfer for 18 months, going on almost 2 years. So I don't really understand Liverpool not buying Timo Werner, because he would be absolutely perfect for Liverpool's style of play, and we badly need another attacker. It's well documented that behind the great starting 11 there is not enough depth, and this is where Liverpool should be on the front foot and strengthening their team when they are top of the Premier League, when they are still champions of Europe, champions of the world. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what is your opinion in the comments below, and if you enjoy these videos, leave a like and subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool uploads. And Melissa Reddy, who is a Liverpool-based journalist, wrote an article in The Independent saying that the main reason why Liverpool cooled their interest is that they wanted the release clause to expire, and then they wanted directly to negotiate with Leipzig on a smaller transfer fee. But Chelsea didn't want to wait for that, because Chelsea knew that if they can move now, they can knock Liverpool out of the negotiations. And also Chelsea offered a huge financial package, not only to Timo Werner himself, but also to the agency that represents Timo Werner. Timo Werner's annual salary that he gets in 1 year will be over 10 million pounds, and also his agency that represents Timo Werner gets 12 million pounds of an agency fee on top of the transfer fee, which is absolutely mind-blowing, crazy amount of money. Karl-Heinz Forster, who is Timo Werner's representative, actually informed Leipzig that Chelsea are willing to pay and activate the release clause of Timo Werner. And basically it looks like that Frank Lampard convinced Timo Werner that he will be a key part in the rebuilding process of Chelsea, and he will get a starting 11 spot, so he will play every week guaranteed, and he will be the main man at Chelsea, and Chelsea will build the squad around him. And that, it looks like, convinced, and the financial package convinced Werner that he doesn't need to wait for Liverpool. So what do you think about this? Because I'm pretty disappointed in how this unfolds. So it looks like the financial crisis had such a deep hit to Liverpool's finances that apparently the owners don't want to sanction a transfer move for Timo Werner right now, even though Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of Werner, and Werner's #1 destination is still Liverpool. So Liverpool still have a genuine interest in Timo Werner, but it looks like the financial impact of this crisis has hit Liverpool so deep, and Liverpool's owners so deep, that they are not willing to sanction a 54 million pound transfer for Timo Werner. And that also probably has to do with something that Chelsea did, which is quite outrageous, is that they offered Timo Werner 200,000 pounds per week, which is the wages that Van Dijk and Salah are on at the moment at Liverpool. So Timo Werner who is getting a huge wages, probably like 4 times the wages that he's getting at Leipzig at the moment, or maybe even more. And Liverpool maybe didn't want to rival that. Maybe Liverpool didn't want to pay Werner £200,000 per week. They thought he needs to earn that. Liverpool probably wanted to give Werner £100,000 per week, and if he performs well, then maybe in 1 or 2 years they wanted to increase his wages, and Chelsea just blew everyone out of the park with that wage offer, in my opinion. And it looks like Timo Werner doesn't want to wait around. He gave a deadline to Liverpool saying that if you want to sign me, just pay the release clause, otherwise I'm going to another Premier League club, because Timo Werner thinks he's ready for the Premier League right now. And I agree, he scored 31 goals in just like 41 games in all competitions, so he's more than ready for the Premier League. And also, one advantage that Chelsea have is that they can give Timo Werner a starting spot in their starting 11, while at Liverpool he needs to fight for his place. But I still feel that Timo Werner would have played a lot of football had he signed for Liverpool, even though this transfer deal is still not official. Many journalists are reporting that Chelsea are very close to finalizing this transfer, which really makes me angry and disappointed, because I think that Liverpool are in desperate need of reinforcements. We can't just sit still and let our rivals sign up all the best talent around Europe, because Liverpool have a squad that needs some refreshing, and we only spent £7.5 million on Takumi Minamino, and he's a good player, but he's not on the level of Timo Werner. And if we are left with just Firmino and Origi and Minamino as our front three for like 4, 5, 6 weeks next season, when the Africa Cup of Nations goes ahead in January, Liverpool will be in massive trouble. And in that 6 weeks we could drop enough points to miss out on the Premier League title. So Liverpool are risking a lot by not going for this Timo Werner transfer, and I don't buy this, that Liverpool don't have money to sign him, because Liverpool posted record profits for the season and a record amount of revenue. Liverpool posted like £43 million profit and £577 million in revenue. And also Liverpool have the Champions League money still, Liverpool have the Premier League money, the TV money coming in, and Liverpool will be Premier League champions. We have a new sponsorship deal coming in from Nike as well. Maybe the financial situation is more difficult, but the club should be transparent enough to tell the supporters what is going on behind the scenes. But it looks like because of this virus and this pandemic, the Premier League clubs are facing huge losses, because Tottenham, for example, had taken out a massive £175 million loan with the Bank of England, because they could lose up to £200 million due to this pandemic and football stopping. And maybe Liverpool are also in a very, very big financial mess. We just don't know that yet, because the club haven't spoken out about it. Liverpool also postponed the plans for a £60 million upgrade of the Anfield Road stand for at least 12 months, and that just shows that Liverpool might be in more financial difficulty than we know. And that's my problem. Why aren't the club more transparent with the club's finances? I think the fans have a right to know. I mean, Peter Moore, the chief executive of Liverpool, said that Liverpool have unprecedented operating losses to deal with, and our revenues have been shut off, but our outgoings remain, and that's what Peter Moore said. But that's still very vague on what Liverpool can do going forward. I'm trying to make sense of the situation. I dig a little bit deeper here, and Liverpool have one of the highest wage bills in the world. Their wage bill is £310 million per year, which is absolutely crazy to me. And I mean, Liverpool earn like £577 million in revenue, and more than half of that just goes out of the club in wages to players. That is absolutely crazy. And yes, they didn't spend major money. They only signed Harvey Elliott, Sepp van den Berg, Adrian, and also Takumi Minamino since last summer, but they upgraded the contracts of Salah, Mane, Firmino, Henderson, Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and we are in the process of tying down Alisson, Wijnaldum, Van Dijk as well to new contracts. Because of the pandemic, Liverpool could be in a little bit of a tight spot financially. We just don't know exactly how much Liverpool have to spend in the summer transfer window. The Athletic claims that Liverpool are not planning to make a major transfer in the summer transfer window, which I think would be a big mistake. But if Liverpool can't afford it, as hard as it seems to be to believe that, then Liverpool can't really do anything else but to tighten the purse strings and just hope that this squad can perform to the maximum of its abilities. My problem is that Liverpool have a very small squad. If we have 2 or 3 major injuries to key players, like you could see, we got Alisson injured and we got knocked out by Atletico Madrid in the Champions League because of that. If Van Dijk gets injured, if Robertson gets injured, if Trent Alexander-Arnold gets injured, if any of the front 3 get injured for an extended period of time, Liverpool will be in a massive trouble next season in the Premier League, because our backup players are just nowhere near as good as our first starting 11 players. So because of the virus, all sports and the majority of the entertainment industry just came to a halt. And that very much affected Liverpool's owners, because FSG is the Liverpool investment group that owns Liverpool. Their assets are entirely tied up in the sports and the entertainment business. And that those businesses got the biggest hit, some of the biggest hit during this pandemic. So that's why I think that this is a significant blow financially to not just the Liverpool Football Club, but to the Liverpool owners as well. And that's the main reason why Liverpool just probably decided against signing Timo Werner right now. If Liverpool don't sign anyone in the transfer window, that's a big gamble next season, because as I said, if we get major injuries, or if the Africa Cup of Nations goes ahead and we will miss Mane and Salah for 4, 5, 6 weeks, how will Liverpool cope with a lot of fixtures? We might have to again forfeit our participation in the League Cup, in the FA Cup, and we might just need to focus on the Premier League and the Champions League, and we might not have a big enough squad to cope with those competitions either. What is a little bit over the top and what is a little bit too much for me is that some Liverpool fans on Twitter are saying that FSG should sell Liverpool and they should be kicked out of the Liverpool Football Club, even though they own Liverpool. Absolutely crazy and insane to me. And I mean, Liverpool are 25 points clear in the Premier League. We are 1 or 2 wins away from winning our first title in 30 years. We are reigning Champions League winners. We are reigning European Super Cup and Club World Cup champions. So I think those Liverpool fans who want the owners out of the football club are way out of line, and it's very harsh. I think what you should do is you should judge Liverpool's transfer dealings at the end of the summer transfer window. And if Liverpool don't sign any players of significance, then you can say the owners are wrong and Liverpool's transfer strategy is wrong. But I think we shouldn't hound out the owners just yet. I mean, only if Liverpool fall down the table next season and don't challenge for the Premier League title, that's when Liverpool fans are right to criticize the owners, because Liverpool are in such a great dominant position. We should grab this chance by both hands. But if Jurgen Klopp and the owners think that Liverpool are not in a financial position to make big transfers, then it's a tough pill to swallow, but that's what we have to deal with. And then we should hope that in Jurgen Klopp's genius that he can work his magic again next season and hopefully win the title next season as well. What is crazy to me in this story is that Jurgen Klopp and Timo Werner were in such a close contact that Werner was very much set on signing for Liverpool. He was even contemplating and planning on going to Liverpool and looking at houses to rent, houses to live in. It was that close, this transfer, But when no bid arrived, it looks like Timo Werner got cold feet, and he and his agent probably waited for other clubs to show interest. And when Chelsea and Frank Lampard showed interest, they started talking. And if Liverpool don't want to sign Werner, then Werner is entitled to go to Chelsea. But it's very painful for Liverpool fans, including me, to see this, because previously with Alisson, with Oxlade-Chamberlain, we had a situation where they both were wanted by Chelsea, and they both chose Liverpool instead of Chelsea. And maybe Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool thought that it would happen with Timo Werner as well. But if you don't make an official bid, you can't expect the player to wait around forever for Liverpool. So it's a very risky transfer business. But if anybody can achieve success with such limited amounts of money, then it's Jurgen Klopp. He has shown that he worked miracles already. But for example, Steve Nicol criticized this decision, saying regardless of how good you are, you have to make sure you stay where you are at the very least, and you stay at the top of the Premier League. That means you need competition for places. No question, Werner would have given the front three, as great as they are, and have been a great run for their money. It would have kept the front three on their toes. The front three of Liverpool can now breathe a little easier. I think Liverpool have slipped up here, saying that I wouldn't be surprised if Werner had something to do with this. At the end of the day, if you want to go somewhere, you can make it happen. It looks to me like Werner has changed his mind along the way. Maybe Steve Nicol is right. Maybe Werner changed his mind when he saw that Liverpool are not putting in an official bid, and he wanted to play in the Premier League as soon as possible. And I can understand that. What concerns me is that Liverpool are relying on Salah, Mane and Firmino to stay fit for the whole season. And so far, apart from very small injuries, that has worked 2 years in a row. But they are playing with fire, Liverpool. If one of them get a serious injury, how will Liverpool cope when they get injured in the middle of the season and there is no transfer window, nobody to bring in, and no real serious firepower on the bench? It's a very risky strategy, as I said, and I don't necessarily agree with that. But if Liverpool are in serious financial trouble, then we can't really do much. We can't really complain about that. But it's just painful to see. I mean, how on earth are Chelsea in a better financial position than Liverpool? Maybe Chelsea's owner, Roman Abramovich, maybe his businesses haven't been affected as much by the financial crisis as Liverpool. We don't know that, because I don't know the inside workings of Roman Abramovich business ventures, so we can't really comment on that. So yeah, let me know, what do you think about this whole situation in the comments below. I tried to cover it as in-depth as possible for you guys. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this. See you later, goodbye.